Heroin is one of the most feared drugs on earth today. But just a little over 100 years ago, a major German company sold it as a common cough medicine, even to children. It had a beautiful name, heroin, from the word heroic. Laboratory workers tried the new drug themselves and described a powerful rush and elation. That's why the name stuck. It was prescribed for lung ailments, flu, stomach upsets, and heart pain. For 15 years, the same company supplied the market with about a ton of pure substance each year. Just a year after its release, the first addicts appeared. 10 years later, it became clear. This drug was even more addictive than morphine, the drug it was supposed to cure. Until 1912, advertisements for this substance hung in pharmacy displays next to vitamins with pictures of smiling children. This is not fiction. It is a proven historical fact. It was later discovered that once in the body, the substance converted into morphine, the very drug it supposedly protected against. People took the stronger morphine, thinking they were simply healing. Production was stopped, but it was too late. The substance had already spread across the world. It was still sold freely in German pharmacies until 1958, half a century after its discovery. Why does heroin take hold so quickly? It penetrates the protective barrier between the blood and the brain faster than almost any other substance on the planet. Once there, it attaches itself to pleasure zones. The brain receives a joy signal tens of times more powerful than from any natural source, such as food, victory, or the embrace of loved ones. With repeated use, the brain begins to suppress some of these pleasure zones. It literally rewires itself to the substance. And now, without a fix, a person can't even feel ordinary joy. Within a few weeks, the body stops secreting joy hormones on its own. It forgets how to be happy without outside help. It's no longer a choice. It's the body's fault. Addiction develops in the mind even faster than in the body. Sometimes, 2 or 3 uses are enough for the brain to persistently demand repetition, shutting down everything that interferes with it. The high fades over time. It disappears, leaving only one goal: to relieve the pain of lack of a fix. The person no longer injects for pleasure, but simply to feel normal. Most addicts believe until the very end that everything is under control. After a couple of weeks, they realize this is not the case. And at that point, it's almost too late. The trap has snapped shut. Heroin destroys the body methodically and mercilessly. Veins burn from constant injections, skin becomes covered in unhealing wounds, and the body's defenses fail to fight common infections. Hepatitis and other serious blood diseases are transmitted through dirty needles. Infections are not uncommon, but the norm. Many end up in intensive care with them even before their first overdose. Appearance changes rapidly. Skin turns gray and sags, teeth crumble, eyes are constantly half closed. The person you once knew becomes unrecognizable within a couple of years. The brain also deteriorates. Memory weakens, concentration is impossible, and hallucinations begin. In the later stages, a person can sit for hours in a complete daze, alive, but as if no longer alive. Moreover, heroin completely kills hunger. People stop eating. A weight loss of 20 to 30 kilograms over a year of active use is not an exception, but a common occurrence. Even if an overdose is avoided, which is fortunate in itself, severe poisoning still leaves irreversible marks on the psyche and internal organs. Recovery without suffering is nearly impossible. The average life expectancy for active addiction is 5 to 7 years. Not because of bad luck, but because the body and brain simply can't handle what's being done to them. Why is heroin so hard to quit? Because withdrawal isn't just a feeling of ill health, it's a physical catastrophe that begins just a few hours after the last dose. Pain throughout the body, cramps, vomiting, insomnia, a feeling like the skin is burning from the inside, you can't lie down or move. The first 3 days without a dose are the worst. Those who have been using for more than a year are practically unable to survive this on their own. Some resort to extreme measures during this period, just to stop the unbearable sensations. Even when the physical withdrawal symptoms pass, the craving lingers in the mind. It lingers for years. Any familiar smell, place, or face from a past life can instantly bring back a sharp craving. When the acute symptoms subside, weeks of weakness, depression, and complete emptiness lie ahead. The body recovers slowly. The brain, even more slowly, if it recovers at all. It's not just unpleasant. Doctors say the intensity of acute withdrawal is comparable to severe poisoning and the simultaneous fracture of several bones. And all this without any pain relief. That's why 90% of people without serious medical help relapse within the first 3 months of quitting. The brain remembers everything and persistently reminds you of it. Is it possible to break free from heroin addiction? Technically, yes, but the statistics are stark. Most people who quit relapse, not because they're weak, but because their brains have been permanently altered. The part of the brain responsible for joy and decision-making is literally rewired for the drug. Even after years without it, it reacts to cues from the past as if nothing has changed. Returning to the old environment is the fastest path to relapse. Those who, after treatment, find themselves back with the same old friends and in the same places, relapse almost inevitably. This isn't an opinion, it's data. Another brutal fact. After a period of drug abstinence, sensitivity to the drug increases sharply. A dose that a person could previously tolerate without consequences can prove fatal after a break. This is precisely why a third of fatal overdoses occur in the first weeks after leaving a clinic or prison. The body has lost its usual resilience, but the desire remains. Those who manage to break free say the same thing. It's possible, but it's a struggle every day for the rest of your life. Every day, a separate, conscious choice. And one bad day can be your last. Heroin is one of the few substances that makes the concept of a former addict almost non-existent. There are only those who are holding on right now. Subscribe to the channel and watch other episodes. It's important.